What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Skatepark Showcase. Today, I'm in Kingsland, Georgia. Fun fact, in about 2015, 2016, somewhere around there, I actually tried to film an episode here and ended up getting kicked out at 5 o'clock. But more on that later. Let's check out and see what this park's got to offer. Kingsland, Georgia, small skate park in a small town. It's probably about, 30 minutes to an hour drive away from Jacksonville, which is pretty cool. Jacksonville is a huge city, so not a bad location at all. Real quick, before I get into it, I came here with a couple of buddies, Chino, Kanan, and Billy, and we were here for an afternoon. I think we were traveling through town and we had one day, and we were like, oh, I think Kingsland has a skate park, let's go out there. So we came out on a Sunday, and I saw online that they had a helmet rule, and we didn't have any helmets, so we drove to Walmart and went and bought the stupidest helmets we could find.
I think this will go great.
You like it?
Oh, I love it.
Man, it's got the Disney princesses on.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Dude. I'm gonna get it. It's over with. It's done.
You don't look very happy.
Well, I don't like wearing helmets, but...
Oh, dude, bloody hell. I got it. Donatello. I'm Leonardo, dude.
That's awesome.
Unless I find Raphael, it's over with.
They enforced the rules back then. You had to wear a helmet, and the park closed on Sundays at 5, which is insane. A security guard or cop, I can't remember, came by and literally locked the gate. And we tried to, ask him if we could stay a little bit longer, but he would not give in and locked the gate at 5. We got here at like 4, so we didn't really film hardly anything. But that brings me to today. Today, things are totally different. They never lock the gate, that's what the locals tell me, and they don't enforce the helmet rule. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about first impressions of this park. It's a nice little area, a park area. There's a whole bunch of baseball fields, softball fields, tennis courts, stuff like that. And then tucked off in the corner is our fenced-in skate park. And it's not bad, it's small, but it seems pretty clean, well kept, and a little old, but this is an ARC manufactured skate park, metal ramps, and they hold up to the test of time. It does have a couple of issues, but we'll get into that in a second. First, let's talk about the layout. It's a pretty small park, so you can only fit so much in it, but they have figured out a way to cram a pretty good bit of stuff into this tiny bit of space. This park basically has 3 sections. There is the flat ground section with a long rail and a nice skatable bench. Then there is the mini ramp section, super nice mini ramp, and then that is attached to the main street course. It's basically just a back and forth linear street course. There is the long flat bar. It's a good rail, pretty long. The run up kind of sucks because it's such a small area, so it's kind of hard to get set up, but once you get used to it, it's definitely skatable. There's a tall section and a lower section with a kink in the middle. The tall section is a good size. The lower section, I think, is almost a little bit too low. I think it's about between 8 and 10 inches tall. I prefer at least 12 inches tall. It's great for beginners, of course. Right next to that is a bench. It's one of those benches that's, literally made for skating. ARC, they always do theirs a little bit different than other ramp manufacturers. There's a really tall center that's pretty much too tall to skate unless you're like Tori Pudwell and you can ollie like this high, And then there's a low bench and then a tall bench. The low bench, to me, is perfect. It is the perfect height. I love skating that low section. And then there's the tall bench, a little bit more difficult to skate, but still a lot of fun and very challenging. This is a really, really good mini ramp. I'm not a big fan of metal mini ramps, just because I don't like that material. It can get really hot, especially here in South Georgia, it gets really hot. But that being said, it's still the perfect dimensions and a lot of fun to skate. The coping is solid, the transition is nice and smooth, and there's a nice flat section in the middle that's about the perfect size. I could definitely skate that mini ramp all day long. And then the main course of the skate park is usually the street section. And the reason I say usually is because I actually found myself skating the street section the least. So let's get into why. On one side, you've got a bank, nice and wide, pretty steep, which is good, because you're gonna need some speed for the center section. The bank has a nice smooth transition up into it, so it's not very jarring, really easy to skate. On the other side is a 6-foot quarter with an elevator down to a 4-foot quarter. I've come across these a lot. It's built really solid, the transition's really good, and the coping is the perfect size. All right, now let's talk about the fun box. This is where I have some issues. It's always the fun box that I always have issues for some reason. I'm noticing that. I keep criticizing fun boxes, but it's just the way it goes, I guess. All right, so the fun box is basically, it's got a lot of stuff to it. So let's just break it down. On one side, we have a kicker launch ramp to flat to bank. That's a lot of fun. It's actually a little bit big. I would prefer that that kicker be a little bit smaller, not quite as tall, so you could actually make it to the other bank on the other side. Right now, with the way it's laid out, you can't really get enough speed off of the bank to hit that kicker and actually make it over the flat. But that being said, it's still a solid kicker and it's a lot of fun. Right next to that, in the middle of our fun box, you have the typical bank flat to bank. And the flat's about 5 foot long. It's relatively easy to get over the flat, so it's not too bad. I do have some complaints, but I'll move on to the stair set next. Next to that is the stair set and handrail. The handrail is nice and low, nothing too crazy. I think it might just be a little bit too low because on the top flat, I was having trouble getting into a crook. Like it was just launching me a little too far. It was, I don't know, it was weird. I felt kind of sketchy, but whatever. It's not a bad handrail. Right there, butted up to the handrail is our stair set. It is a 4-stair, not big, which is great. Feels good hitting it, but the flat is only 5 feet long. So you really got to get set up and you got to take it slow. If you go too fast, you may not even have enough time to get set up to hit that 4-stair. I was struggling with it. I have this complaint about a lot of fun boxes about the flat being too short when they put a stair set on there. Time and time again, it keeps happening. This is just another example of that happening. Now, in order to fix these issues, the items on the fun box just need to be flipped. The 6-foot elevator to 4-foot, that 6-foot extension gives you a lot of speed. Well, that puts you straight into the stair set, and you don't need speed for that stair set. So what they should have done is put the stair set on the opposite side and then put the kicker where the stair set is, but rotated 180 degrees. So moved it over and then rotated it around. So that way you could come in off the 6-foot extension and hit that kicker ramp and actually launch over the flat into the bank. It would give you the perfect amount of speed. But the way they have it set up now is that you have to hit the bank and then into the kicker, and it just does not give you enough speed. That would fix all the issues. And that's pretty much it. Unfortunately, even though they never shut the gate at this place, there are no lights. And it's another one of those situations where it's in a nice park area, recreational facility, and every single field out here, including the tennis courts, they all have lights. And they just, didn't want to give the skate park lights. It's very unfortunate. Since they don't shut it down, I was able to bring my lights out here a couple times and just set them up on a couple of obstacles and get a couple extra clips. They do have bathrooms out here, but they lock them. They're definitely locked right now, and I asked some of the locals if they ever unlock them, and he said, nope, they always stay locked. I would assume that maybe they do unlock them, maybe on weekends when they have baseball games going on or something like that, because, I'm sitting right next to a really small baseball field right here. And it's really nice. It's got AstroTurf and everything. So I'm assuming they would unlock the bathrooms, which are right next to it and right next to the skate park. But from what I'm told, they don't unlock the bathrooms. No waiver, come up here and skate. They still have signs posted saying helmets required. They don't enforce it. So yeah, if you're out here during daylight hours, you can definitely come out here and skate. No hassles, fun little park. But it is just outside of Jacksonville. So if you're actually traveling, you'd probably be better off hitting the Jacksonville parks. And I actually haven't hit any Jacksonville parks yet, but plan on doing it soon. Thanks guys for sticking around and checking out another episode of Skatepark Showcase. I just want to give a quick shout out to all of my Patreon supporters. That helps keep me on the road. If you want to help support this channel, just go to patreon.com/parksharks. As little as $1 a month goes a really, really long way, and I greatly appreciate it. If you can't donate, not a problem. Here's some ways you can help. Keep watching, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share this video with your buddies so we can all find what skate parks are out there. Here's what's coming up next.